Right, so we're having a little play around with this starter box. So this is a starter box that comes with that cage buggy. This cage buggy here, this is the one that I recently put a different engine in, the one that just an engine I had just laying around. And I was trying to get it, I had to look at the servos, and the other day, for those of you that haven't seen the video, I was trying to get it just to start up, just for the fun of it, after I'd got the servos working and the radio gear and that kind of stuff working. And it didn't want to fire up. And I just thought to myself, I'm going to wind a lot of people up. Let's keep pulling it until the pull start breaks. And the pull start broke. So I knew that there was a starter box for it. The bloke who owns that buggy said to me originally, he said, I've got a starter box for it, but I think I might just get rid of it or sell it or whatever, because it's got a pull start on that engine. But when I broke the pull start, he turned around and said to me, look, do you want this starter box? Because you could just use a starter box with it. So I've got the starter box here. It is either a true start or a sure start, or it's a knockoff, but it looks exactly like the ones that I've got for my buggies, so I'm pretty sure it's a very good box. Now the battery that's in it, it's a lead acid battery. I'm trying to revive it, I'm trying to get it to work. That could be a date code on there, the 15th of February 2008. Could be, could not be. I'm not an expert on batteries. But my battery charger won't charge it. And when I measured the voltage on it, it was at 2 volts. It should be a 12 volt lead acid battery, a 12 volt package. But it had about 2.2 volts or something in it. So the battery charger wouldn't recognise it. So I jammed a bit of electric in it with a power supply. This is just ordinary 5 to 7 amp, 12 volts or 13.8 volt DC power supply. You can do all kinds of things with this, power all kinds of things. As long as, I mean, that particular one's about 40 years old. I use it for loads of stuff, primarily CB and ham radios, as long as, CB radio mainly, because ham radios typically use more than 7 amps, and you don't really be running it at 7 amps anyway. But it's fantastic for charging up batteries. You can't charge a LiPo battery or a lithium battery with it, but you can charge a nickel metal hydride battery with one. Not very well, but you can jam some electric in one if you need to. But you can charge up lead acid batteries, no trouble at all, with just an ordinary power supply, because that's what a battery charger for a lead acid battery is. It's just a power supply. That's all it is, and a lot of them have circuitry in them to sort of tell you when it's ready by putting a light on or doing whatever, because the voltage comes up and the current goes down. The flatter a battery, the more current it'll take. As the battery starts to charge up, it will start taking less current, less amps, until you get to 0 amps, and then it's basically charged up. But anyway, because my battery charger wouldn't charge it because the voltage was too low, it wasn't recognising there was a battery connected to it, I'm jamming some electric in it with this power supply. It's been on there now for about an hour. I checked the voltage with the old Kyosho multimeter a minute ago, and it's at 13 volts when I take the charger off. But if I leave the charger off, like turn it off completely and disconnect it, the volts do drop reasonably quick. So I do, well, I reckon it's dropped a cell or two, to be fair. I don't think it's going to be a lot of cop, that battery. But I'm going to give it a fair chance. I'm going to give it a really good charge. It's a sealed battery, so I can't check the water in it. So we'll go from there. Oh.
I thought you said it was clear.
Well, it will be in a minute.
God's sake. What do I lie? Why's that on?
To warm it up in here.
Why?
Because it was cold.
Look, hold up.
Are you happy?
No.
Why?
Left that in, that's going to go mouldy.
Why are you not happy?
Because you said it was empty and it's not.
Oh. Welly. It didn't work. That battery has completely had it. I've had it there charging for a while. I've turned it off now because it was a bit gay, so I've left it to relax. But that battery is no good. I think it's dropped a couple of cells because it'll go to 13 odd volts, and as soon as you take the charger off of it, down to less than 1 volt. It won't take a charge. Probably maybe has no water in it. Don't really care because I can't take it apart. It's a sealed battery. And some of you are going to go, you can still take a sealed battery apart. Yeah, you can. You can, but am I going to? Am I going to try? No. No, I'm not. What I'm going to do is I'm going to jerry-rig it a little bit. I've got some test leads here. I've still got my ones that didn't work before because there's something wrong with them, but I've kept them because I'm a bit of a cock. But they're still good because they've got the crocodile clips plus. There's just a bad connection, but these ones are good. So I've got some bloody test leads. I've got a LiPo battery over there. All we're going to do is just wire it up so that starter box will work, and then we can stick the old buggy on it and try and get it to fire up. We've got a broken pole start on it at the moment. This is just for fun, pure fun. All right. I've got plenty of things I could be doing this morning, sitting down watching films with the kids and everything like that, but they're all hyper as bloody lipos. And I thought, you know what, let's go and have a bit of fun for 10 minutes. Let's try and get that starter box working that was dropped off earlier on today. And yeah, just to see if it'll work. You up for that? Okay, let's go. Come on then. Alright then, I've balanced you up there on that toolbox. So, I've got a mystery on my hand. I've lost my electric bicycle charger. Don't know where it is. I've lost it somewhere. Can't find it. I've looked everywhere. So, what we've got, the yellow one is going to be sad. And the green one is going to be happy. So that one goes on there. That one goes to sad. Cable. Green one is happy. So that one goes to happy cable. Now it should work. No. There's the switch. Now it should work. You're having a laugh, aren't you? What? Why is it so slow? What? You're having a laugh, mate. Mate? You're having a laugh, mate. This battery must be flat. 77%, 3S, 12.02 volts, 77%. So it's got plenty of electrics inside it, the battery has. Why ain't that working? Maybe those cables aren't thick enough. Let's get some thicker ones, John. We'll bring out the big guns. Big gun time, eh? What I should do is rewire that, put one of these, what are they called? XT60 plugs on here, so I can just plug the battery straight into it. But it ain't my starter box, so I'm not going to be cutting and chopping and cutting and shutting and chopping and doing all that kind of stuff. I'm going to just try and get it to work. The other thing that I could and should do, that's gay. That won't fit. Well, I did have, see, I think it's somewhere else. I've got a little adapter somewhere. And what it does is, I don't think that's the right, no, that's the wrong type. I thought I had more than one, but it looks like I haven't because I was looking for it the other day. It's a little adapter thing, and well, it just adapts an XT60 to a Tamiya plug. I've got the XT60s to Dean's, they're all here, but I have got one that does XT60 to Tamiya, but for the life of me I can't find it anywhere. I've literally looked head, toe, top, bottom, left, right, up and down, everywhere, and I can't find it. Which is the gayest thing I've ever seen in my life. Why isn't that working then? Let's give this one more go. So that goes into sad cable. Yes? This one, see, these are very thin wires. They're a lot thinner than the wires there. So they're only test leads after all. They won't carry the same amount of amperage or the same current. Imagine current as like flow, like water flow. So if you've got a skinny little hose pipe, you're not going to get a lot of water going through it, are you? If you've got a wider diameter hose pipe, more water can get through it. So that's what wires are. They're, you know, current. The thinner the wire, the less current they'll carry. That goes on the happy cable, and that one goes on the sad cable. Here we go. That's never going to be enough. And it smells of burning. Right. I'm going to have to do some cutting and shutting here. Let's do some, yeah, I think, yeah, these are red hot. Absolutely burning. They're all floppy and burning hot. They're not man enough, these little test leads, for that amount of amperage current to run those two motors. So let me get an XT60. I'll lock that Tamiya plug off, put an XT60 on it. This battery's stuck in here. We'll put an XT60 on it and we'll run it on that LiPo. And we'll just go from there, basically. Worst case scenario, I'll buy this whole starter box off of Jordan's his name, bloke who owns this. Worst case scenario, I'll just buy the whole box off of him. You know, if he's not happy with me cutting this up, I'll just be like, well, I'm sorry, I'll buy it off you. You know, there we go. That goes on the end of there. It's quite handy running it off a LiPo, to be fair. I wouldn't normally do that type of thing. I like to try and, don't know, I'm a bit strange. I like to do things how they are. So if that is that plug, I'll buy a battery with that plug on it. But we haven't got that option today. And I have got some batteries with Tamiya. Shut you stupid gay. There's a saw on the floor and I've just kicked it. I have got some batteries with Tamiya plugs on, but they're only 7.4 volts. And I know what you're going to say. You can run it off of 2 of those batteries. You can. I've got my other starter box for the Techno buggy. That has got oh, you stupid. Oh. Oh, that's no good, is it? I don't know when that happened, but my little toolbox, look, the thing snapped off. Oh no. Oh, I'm so gutted now. This is my favourite little toolbox. This was awesome. This was the best little toolbox I'd ever found because it just fits in my little bag. But now the little... Oh, I'm gutted. Absolutely gutted. Where is it? Oh. I'm so upset now. I'm so upset. Right, I haven't got a proper soldering station set up here yet. All I've got, well, I've got my electric Weller soldering irons and that, but they're all over there, and I haven't got electric or anything. There's no electric here, so we're going to use this gas-fired soldering iron to do some soldering. Now the only solder I've got, have I got? Oh, I have got. Oh, I've only got lead-free. Oh, where's my leaded solder gone? Oh, you're joking me. You're joking, you are. You're joking me. Well, I don't know where my lead solder's gone. I've only got lead free, and lead free can be a bit of a bastard sometimes, but we'd have to make do with it. On. How do we... What? Oh yeah. Nope. Oh, don't tell me you've... Oh no! It's bloody run out of gas! Oh, for the love of... I don't believe it. I've not got any gas. This is just getting worse and worse. This is terrible. Alright, bear with me a minute. Alright, real time. This is real time. What am I going to do now, John? Sort of situation. I haven't got any gas. I have got a little canister of gas for these soldering irons, but where in the world it is, I honestly have no idea. I haven't seen it. So, I've got another gas soldering iron. This one doesn't have a little sight glass in it. And if I shake it, it sounds like it's empty. Oh, I think it is on. Right. Soldering tip. Have I got a soldering tip? I haven't got a bloody soldering tip for it, John. I've only got a blowtorch tip for it. This is just getting better and better, John. I don't know what I've done with the little can of gas. Where's the little can of gas? Little can of gas. Little can of gas. You in here? The bloody... Hey. Just trying to think where I last saw the little can of gas. I'll have to go and get one. Hopefully, this weather tip, that's never going to screw on there. That's different. That's bastarding. You bastard cock. That's never going to fit on there. Look, that's got an internal thread, and that's got. Oh, that's also. Oh no, that's got an external thread. So that's never going to go on there, is it? That's hot as a bloody... Oh, that's hot. Well, that's never going to work. Alright. Plan C. Let me go and nick some electric from somewhere else. Let me go and nick some electric. Yeah. Back in a jiffy. Right, so I've got Mr. Soldering Iron here, plugged in over there, that goes there like that, and then we go... There we go. So, I did manage to make that work after all. I should have just tried that to start with, shouldn't I? Anyway, this is a cracking soldering iron. This is... Got it out of a factory, and I got another one as well. But the other one's it's a different style. It's got the holder built into it, and it come from some electronics factory somewhere. These Weller soldering irons, they're old, and I used to buy anything that I possibly can from factory sales, closing down things when factories went out of business, or if they just shut down, if they moved or whatever, old things when they upgrade. Them soldering irons are about 30 years old, that Willow on there, it's probably about 30 years old, but cracking piece of equipment. And 420 degrees of pure bliss. Anyway, heats up in about 10 seconds as well. You couldn't ask for better. You couldn't get some... I've had a couple of Chinese soldering irons in the past with the variable things and all this kind of stuff. Not a patch on that Weller gear. Proper stuff. If you want a soldering iron, go and get yourself a Weller iron. The best one you'll ever find. It smells like burning plastic though. That can't be good, can it? Bloody hell. It's hot, I'll tell you that. Bloody Jesus. That's serious, man. Johnny boy, that's a serious piece of kit you got there, John. Right. I need my good side cutters that were nice and sharp have vanished. Everything vanishes. Everything. Absolutely everything just disappears for some reason. And I can never find any of it. Anywhere, John. Hey! Right. That's that. Completely snippered. So now we'll just trim these, get rid of the coat. Whoopa! Give it an old twist. I'll tin it up, put the thing on, and then we're just gonna have a good day. Do you know what I mean? Does anyone know who John is yet? I don't think anyone's ever going to know who he is. I mean, I think he's bloody elusive, if you know what I mean. I think that's just what he is, you know. Elusive John. Bluntest side cutters you've ever seen in your life. Yeah, I've had these side cutters for about 20 years. Probably more than that, to be honest. Because I would have got them when I was a very early teenager. And I left school in 2006. So, you know, I left senior school 2006. So, I would have got these probably the year 2000, 2001 for Christmas and birthday. I know they were definitely a present. And they've done a hell of a lot of work on cars and motorbikes and all kinds of things. And they're blunt as old Harry, but they're my go-to. They're the only good pair I've got. Well, the only pair I've got. I haven't got any other pairs of good side cutters. But I haven't got any side cutters. These are my only side cutters. Plenty of pliers. But, yeah. Blunt as old Harry. More than 20 years old. Love it, John. Hello there, how are you? I'm okay. Let's put that in there. Warm up the jam sandwich. Can you see it glowing red? Woo! Look at that. Absolutely beautiful, if you don't say so yourself. There, Johnny boy. Stick a little bit of solder just over the edge on the end, just to make sure that it's 100% stuckered. getting a lot of plastic on the end of my soldering iron, you know what I mean? It's a little bit dodgy, but we'll just go with it anyway. Right, that can go in there. Come on. And then we'll warm it up. Lovely, bloody jubbly. Lovely, jubbly, lovely, jubbly. Oh. Oh. Shouldn't need that anymore. You can go off. Thank you for your kind work. That was very good. I appreciate everything you did for me. Thank you very much indeed. Now we'll have to get a little bit of a lighter here, and then we just do that. Put a little bit of heat shrinkage over there. A little bit of heat shrinkage over there, like so. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very, very much indeed. Oh, now we're there, Johnny boy. Now we're rocking and we're rolling. Now the only thing is, this old battery, they must have used the sticky pads. Whoever put this bloody thing in, he must have used them sticky pads and stuck it in as well, because it just won't come off. I'm going to have to heat that up bloody good and proper to get that glue to become unstickified, and then I can force it off. I have tried, and I might try again. Now, you've got to exercise a bit of caution with this, and I know some of you are going to be going, no! But use a screwdriver, but you've got to be careful, because if you pierce that battery, you're going to have a bit of water and acid go everywhere, but that's no problem. The problem is you'll end up with a bit of a fire, because it'll probably short out and start sparking. And I've been there and I've pierced these before doing exactly this, which is how I learned my lesson. But you can't do it. It's just really, it's who in the world uses sticky pads to stick these in? I have no idea. But let's just ignore it for now. I don't know where I'm going to put this battery though. Put it there. Bear with me while I get this out. I can't get that battery out of there for the bloody life of me. I need to, when the heat gun, I need to get the heat gun on it, on the bottom of it, to melt the glue. And then we'll be alright. But anyway, we'll work with this for now. So that's there. That needs to be that way around. And that should, this was the starter box that it was used with. So that should just marry up nicely. Of course. Of course. It doesn't reach, does it? Probably because that flywheel is now 64,000 million feet higher. I don't think that's going to work for a bloody minute. Unless that battery's in the way, but I don't think it is. Because that goes down lower. Aha! That might be why. Bent the frame a little bit. Bent that frame a little bit. when I was trying to get that battery out with a screwdriver, I bent that a little bit and that gets caught on there, so I just need to try and bend that back in a little bit. Because that's causing us a problem. There we go. Right, now it might work with any luck. Kind of. It don't sound very healthy. Right. Hopefully you've got a good view from where you are. Take the plug out. Cool. It's a bloody stiff engine, isn't it? That is a stiff old engine there, John. It could be because the Japanese knotweed is still on, you know, and I haven't taken it off yet. That's glowing like a great big willy. Right. Woo! This is apparently the start box that it was used with when it was raced. Raced. Was it raced? Who knows? What do you think? Let's give it a prime. That fuel is just so... I reckon that's bloody... I don't know if that's jelly coming out of there. I think it is. I think this mesh... I put this mesh in, didn't I, the other day? Where's it gone? Gone? The other day I put this mesh back in this filter. Because I thought it would be a good idea. It was running well when I got it running, and I thought, well, let's put the mesh back in the filter. But that might have been a bad idea, because I don't think the fuel's getting through it very well. That could have been part of our problem the other day. This silly mesh in this filter. Yeah, I think it's too thin and it's stopping the flow of petroleum spirit. So we're taking the mesh out completely. We'll do this up, connect it up, and see how we go then. Not very different, but we'll see. Turn that little engine over, does it? It just don't want to turn that engine over. I'm going to have to get the heat gun on it, I reckon. This engine's got, well, it's got compression. That's for sure. It's got compression. Right, I've given it a warm up. Let's see it go from here. Might make it a bit easier to turn over. Don't want to ruin a belt on this start box, really. It just don't want to go, does it? That's bonkers. Absolutely bonktastic. It just won't go. Bonktastic, man. This engine has got some problems. We might need a new belt on the old starter box. No, that's got good teeth on it. That's a good old belt, that. That's got loads left on it. Wonder if we can tighten it a little bit. It is a little bit loose. We might be able to tighten it and that's cock. And that way we'll get it to grip a bit better, because it is a bit loose. So I can't see if there's much. It might just be stretched, but I can't see if there's a lot of play on that. No. Let me go and get some spanners and I'll try and tighten that belt a little bit. Right. I can't get to them screws because there's pesky batteries in the way. So I can't move the motor and I can't move the tensioner, but I can move the well, I'll call it flywheel, but whatever you call it, I can move that because I can get to that bolt. I can get to that screw rather. So what I'm trying to do is get that as far in that direction as I possibly can. And then doing this screw up. It's made it tighter, but it can still go a lot more. I can't get to the screws because of this pesky battery. I should be able to undo the screw and move that motor that way. Another one I can do is undo that nut and move the tensioner up, but that's at the end of its adjustment. If I could get rid of this pesky bloody battery. Right, let's unplug that. This is turning into a bit of... Bloody hell, that is roasting. Jesus Christ almighty. That's red hot, man. I don't think this battery's ever worked so hard in its life. 47%. That's that's giving it a bit of a hammering, that is. Jesus Christ. Serious stuff. Anyway, let's warm the bottom of this up. See if I can get that battery out. I've given that a good heating. Now, hopefully, if I get another, that should have melted the glue a little bit. And now this battery should come out. Bloody hell. I put this battery in, I didn't want it to come out, that's for sure. Jesus. That's serious, man. That is serious. Talk about bloody awkward. Come on. Yes. We're going now. We're going now. Come on. Come on. Come on. I can't get the screwdriver any other way. Come on. I don't want to bend this chassis of this box any more than I already have. Bent it a little bit. And this is where you're all shouting at the screen with methods and ways of getting this off. I could probably put some brake cleaner down there to try and melt the glue on the sticky pads. That could be another option. Alcohol or something like that. Yes. Chemicals, many chemicals I could put on there to try and get it off, but none of which I'm doing because I'm doing this. Bloody hell. This was serious, man. This was bloody ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Come on, yes. That was it. That was all. And that other one down there. That was all that was holding that in. That is the world's strongest, stickiest pad. Thing is, you don't even need sticky pads for these, because you've got this little battery holder that goes in there, and that holds it down anyway. So you don't even need sticky pads. Blimey, O'Reilly. Well, I've lost a screw for that somehow as well. It's a bit annoying. Right, now I can get to this other screw. Well, at least I should be able to. Oh, you're joking. Oh, there we go. Alright, let's bring that down there. Do that up nice and tight. Right, now we've got a nice tight belt. All that, my friends, is just to tighten the belt. That was all we were doing, tightening the belt. I know, might seem a bit strange, mightn't it? But that's all we were doing, trying to tighten a belt. Right, let's put my red hot battery back in. I like this battery. Hope it don't disintegrate. Right. Bend it a bit. I've bent it a little bit again. Right, let's try again. Tighter belt. Gonna have to charge the battery in a minute. Here we go. Oh, you're joking, man. Oh. Hasn't got enough oomph to turn it over. God, I didn't want to have thought this was a bloody Nova engine, like my B3 that kept getting jammed up. It just won't go over. Ay, 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 man. Ay, ay, ay. One last go, heat it up. Well, I've been heating it for quite some time now. The battery's about to run out on the heat gun, so I'm going to stick that on charge. Bloody hell, that's hot. Right. Last go for tonight now. Last go. Come on, John. Oh man. Must be flooded again. This is a serious engine, I'll tell you that. This is a serious engine. I'll tell you that. Jesus, man. Woo! we're only having a bit of fun this evening, really. So if I can't get it to work this time, we'll come back another day with a properly fully charged battery, and we'll get this going. It just won't go over. Oh well, that's going to be that. It just won't turn over with the glow plug in. I think it's a combination of the battery being a bit flat. But anyway, the point is, now we've got a starter box for it. A lot of you were going on and on and on and on and on. Put it on a starter box, put it on a starter box, put it on a starter box. Now you've got your wish. The starter box itself is a good box. Just needs a good battery in it. And this engine is serious. I'm telling you, this is a serious engine. I don't know anything about it because I found it in a box. It would have been sent to me at some point by one of you lot. But it appears to be serious. Now, it doesn't help that it's got a pole start on the end of it. You know, it doesn't help. But it's not the reason why it's not turning over, because you take the glow plug out and it turns over. I know some of you are going to say, well, you can't run a starter box with the pull start on. Well, you can, because it's no different to having no pull start, just having a back plate, because the only difference is you have got the drag of the little one-way bearing going round, a little ping, 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 ping every time. But it's just the same as the engine running, because the starter box turns the flywheel over as if an engine's running anyway. It makes no difference. I've had people tell me that in the past when I've recommended to people that you can still keep your pull start on and use a starter box. And some people have said, no, you can't. Well, I'm telling you, you can. And I've done it myself in the past. And, you know, it does make a difference. That broken pull start is just acting like a back plate now. That's all that's doing. It's not doing anything. It's just redundant. So, anyway, we'll come back probably in a couple of days' time with a charged up battery. I'll go over everything. I'll straighten out that chassis, because at the moment where I bent it trying to get that battery out, it gets caught when you're trying to push down on it. So I'll straighten that out so it doesn't get caught anymore. And I'm going to take that plug out now. I'm going to put a load of oil down it just to make sure it's properly lubricated up, and we'll be well away. So I'll catch you lot on the next one. This was just a bit of fun. Didn't really intend on doing anything. I thought I'd show you the starter box and just have a bit of fun. And I ended up doing a bit more than I thought I was going to do. I thought I was going to make a 10-minute video. This has probably ended up being nearly a 20 or 30-minute video, but there we go. I'll catch you later on. All the best, you lot. Take care. Treat people nicely. Don't take other people for granted. And we'll all have a nice life. Cheerio.